Welcome back everybody. It's been a couple of weeks since we've seen you, but today is a special day because she's made it back home, back onto British soil.
Beauty sanctuary man.
See if everything's in there. They cracked the windscreen. I've forgotten how rough she looks.
Do you want to see if the old ski gear's underneath? Oh, still there?
We didn't show them what we did with that.
No, we did not.
Where the box goes in, there's a bit of a gap, so we managed to slide it in and strap it up.
Dash cam's still there, that's always a good sign.
It's your microphone! Oh no.
Not funny.
Everything's still in here, well, it looks pretty on it.
Oh, we've had a cushion casualty.
Yeah, well, it doesn't smell the freshest.
No one's had our clothes. No fashion crimes.
Check in the garage.
Yeah, we need the keys for that though.
Tell you what, she's looking trendy, don't you think? She'll make a good dock worker, wouldn't she?
Do you like my look today?
You just need a fag and a hard hat and you'd be away, girl.
Looking good?
Everything's in there. Every time.
You little beauty.
Bringing back all the memories.
No.
The thing is, it feels a bit too warm. Where's the mileages when you need them? We lost you for a couple of days because on the way back of dropping the van off, we met up with a couple of jammy gits.
Oh, we did indeed.
Old Mitch and Martha.
We had a lovely dinner and a good old chat for about 6 hours.
All the YouTube world, the good, the bad and everything else. But
they have told us what their next project is going to be, and you guys are going to love it. So make sure you go over and give those guys a follow.
Yeah, I think
we are dead excited to see it.
I think it'll be a few weeks yet because they're still finishing up their
Lao series.
on the motorbikes. So the next trip,
it's gonna be a good one.
But let's tell you about the van. Well, as you saw from the old thumbnail, the old girl is going to be for sale as soon as we spruced her up.
But before she goes to her new home, I think it's only right that we restore her to her full glory. And the first thing to address is our Tudor styling, someone named it in the comments, which I thought was hilarious. So obviously we need to repair the cracks and dig out these rust patches that it's caused here.
But even with the brackets that we made for the jerry cans and that, you see how rusty they've gone. And it's just where the salt has sat on it for months on end, because obviously we did the Norway trip, that was 2 months, and the America trip was 5 months.
Despite John's washing obsession as well.
Yeah.
And it's even like you saw when we built it, we did a really good job of undercoating it because we took the box off. But it's literally been not sandblasted, but salt blasted off underneath. So
I think a lot of that as well was where the stones hit it on the Dalton. You saw on the cable for the winch what it did to that.
Well, and also look what the Dalton has done. Can you see all of these chips back to the bare alley down the side here? That's from stones hitting it as we went down the Dalton. And the other thing that's taken a battering is the roof rack. Because even though she was professionally powder coated, she's taken a bit of a battering from the salt and all the weather as well.
Yeah, so I think we're going to remove the roof rack, but the way we're going to get the best finish on the box is to remove that as well.
Does everyone remember the last time we had to take the old traction boards off? Well, now we're in a pickle, aren't we? I told him, do not try and turn around. There's not enough room and there's not enough traction. What did he do? Try and turn around. Whose fault was that one again, John?
No comment.
Just put my hand up here in this bracket to give myself a bit of purchase crawling under, and it seems we've brought ourselves back a little souvenir from the old Dalton Highway, a bit of the old infamous gravel. She's done some miles. Well, that's one side off.
I'm still gutted we didn't use the old winch. Sod's law though, if we hadn't put it on,
we would have needed it. Little memento. All we've got left on the chassis now is just these steps, and obviously with them being alley, there's no need to paint them. We're just going to tape them up. So the last job we've got to do before we can disconnect the box from the cab is that we need to disconnect the electrics. So all that runs into the cab is obviously the wires for the battery to battery charger, and then also, do you remember the little 12-volt socket that we put in to power the Starlink? So as soon as we get them disconnected, we can pull her all apart. But one thing we did think would be such a cool idea is that if you were to put the electrics through with an Anderson plug and then some quick release mounts on the box, you could always set it up as a demountable, so you could lift the box off and then put a tray body on. Back on with his favourite.
Gave up yesterday. It's a good job. We forgot one thing. Key. The old expedition seal. It's a good job we didn't try lifting it off with that on, because it's not cheap.
Well, the moment of truth has arrived. Time for the box to come off. Now, we know it came off perfectly fine last time, so in theory, there's no reason to be nervous. However, last time it didn't have 2 big batteries, a fridge, water tanks, and all of our furniture inside. So, still slightly nerve-wracking moment. Okay, stop a sec. Let me check for anything still connected.
Coming off at the front.
Yeah, I've got a gap at the front.
Oh, shit.
What?
Bolts at the back here we haven't done.
Oh, God.
We haven't done bolts. We haven't undone bolts. Second time's a charm, eh? Yeah?
It looks clear to me.
Yeah, go on.
Keep going.
Yeah. Go on, slowly. Go on. She's out. The chassis isn't actually as bad as I thought, to be honest, because the worst bit is just the springs. The actual inside, there's not one bit of rust, so I'm really glad we put that underseal on.
To be fair, we didn't underseal the springs either, did we? But you can see, look, if you look here, where it's literally been blasted off by all the stones hitting it as we've gone down the road. You can see it all chipped off.
But even though there's no rust, what I'll do is I'll pressure wash it all off and then we'll give it another undercoat as well. Just need to make a quick detour to go get a little thumbnail.
They see me rolling, this is illegal.
To anyone buying it, just know I gave it a proper inspection of all the transmission and it's looking pretty good, look.
Nah, roof rack's gonna have to come off. Shoe won't fit. The lean-to that we built to protect the pins while we're away is going to come in handy for this job too, because it will stop the back of the van from being exposed to the elements while we've got the box off. And that's a little bit like the sponsor of this week's video, Incogni, because they keep you protected from being exposed to scammers, annoying marketers, and other people who shouldn't have access to your information. They have things like your date of birth, your address, your national insurance number, and even your financial information. And they get it from companies called data brokers, who collect the information about you, make profiles about you, and then sell it.
Their main customers are insurers, recruiters and banks, and they use this information to decide whether you can have a loan or not. And the worst part is they shouldn't have the information and it could be wrong.
Even worse, they have appalling security measures and get hacked regularly, which means that millions of people's personal information ends up in the hands of criminals each year who do things like steal your identity. You have right to be removed from these lists, but they intentionally make it hard work because it makes the companies a lot of money. And that's where Incogni are here to help. All you have to do is sign up, grant them the right to work for you, and they will go to battle getting you removed from all of the data brokers' lists. They've also given us a brilliant deal where you'll get a massive 60% discount off an annual plan if you use the code TRUEBLUE at the checkout or go to incogni.com/trueblue. I'll put the link in the description for you.
Loving this undercover area. Another job ticked off the list. We got the old windscreen replaced yesterday by, who was it that done it?
Autoglass Repair.
Autoglass Replace.
We need to get
Look at the time. It's 5 to 7 and she's up, dressed and ready.
Got my snacks packed as well.
Where are you off to, Jessica?
I am off to Manchester today because we need to get some new doors for the old Sainsbury's van.
What snacks you got?
I have got some honey roasted cashews, a banana, a peach and a plum, and also some beef jerky, which my niece got me onto. I've never tried it before and now I'm obsessed.
The only thing is I'm not going with her, so I dread to think what stop-off she's going to do on the way.
He can be a gentleman sometimes, look. Get in the front gate for me. Even if he does look like a homeless scruff. See you later, sugar tits.
I forgot to tell you, I've got a special delivery coming today as well.
Of what?
I'll show you when you get home.
Oh, God.
This is good timing, actually.
I take it back.
To smooth over this tool purchase that's come in today, I want to get on to the jobs, so I'm going to service it. Even though it's not due for another couple of thousand miles, I thought, because we're selling it, I want it as tip-top condition as it can be.
The smart thing to do would have been to have measured all the doors before we dropped the van off at the port in the US, so then when we picked it up in Liverpool, we could have also picked up the doors, but we weren't that smart and we didn't. So today, it's another 4-hour drive north.
Service done, so we've changed the engine oil filter, done the air filter and the fuel filter as well. And then also I've changed the wiper blades on the front. Because it's had a new windscreen, they recommend replacing them, and we already had a spare set that we took to Canada. But for the next job, the front wheel's got to come off. If you followed the trip through America and Canada, you'll know when I fitted the studs to the tyres, I noticed that the front strut cover was broken. And I didn't want all the salt and the grit getting in onto the actual piston and breaking it and leaking. So I made this temporary repair thinking it wouldn't last too long. And unbelievably, it's still good as new, but we got a new one. But now she's cleaned up, good as new. But I don't know whether you're meant to put grease around this or like a Teflon spray or something. But all I think with things like that is all the dirt and grit will just stick to it, and then it won't slide up and down, so I think we'll just leave it at that. And the last little job I've got to do while I got the wheel off is the trap rod end, because when I MOT'd it, they were saying there's a bit of play in there, so whilst I got it off I might as well. But a couple of little tips for you. Before you take it off, best to get a hammer underneath and then just give it a few whacks like that, because it loosens all the threads up, because normally they're quite stiff coming off. And what we would think to do to get this trap rod off is take the nut off and then give it a whack on the top of the threads there to break it out and to bring it down. But they hardly ever come out like that. So the best way to do it is actually knock it on the side here. I normally just get a pry bar in it like that. Bit of pressure on it. Away she goes. You can use ball joint splitters like this, which work well, but if you're going to be putting it back together, say you weren't taking it off to do that and you were going to do a strut or something, normally these damage the boots, whereas that way, nice and simple. And before I put the wheel on, I've just spray painted the strut, because then it can still slide up and down on it. It won't attract all the dust and that, and then it will stop it rusting, so it won't jam up like I did before.
150 miles later, and we have made it to Hertford Commercials, which was actually recommended by you lovely lot, and they're the company who've made our new doors for us. It's a good design. So these absolute legends have managed to get 3 custom-made doors done for us in 2 days for us to pick up quickly. But one thing I love that they do here is they show their range of doors in this GRP box body, so you can see what they're going to look like. Now, we've had to go for their groom's door version. Unfortunately, ours doesn't have a window in it, which is a brilliant door and has a piano hinge all down one side, and it just has a single seal in it. And that's because those are the ones that they custom make. The ones that they do, which I think are spiffy as, and if we were doing the build from scratch again, we would definitely get one of these, is the deluxe door. You can have a Fandango little lock on it, look. And they've also got a really good double seal on them. And you can have them customised with fly blinds inside and windows and all kinds of things. But because we've already got our holes in our Sainsbury's van and we've got all the furniture in it, we had to get custom made ones. They also do doors with a radiused top, if you prefer that kind of look, and then the matching lockers to go with them. Or because we want ours to match our doors, you can get them with the square edges as well. They also do a bunch of different windows and roof vents, and they've even got, on this side, look at this, I feel like one of those presenters at one of the Price is Right shows. They also do some skylights as well. And you always know it's a lovely place when this is who greets you. Hello, little one. Absolutely brilliant. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Take care, thank you.
Precious cargo, locked and loaded. So now just for the journey home with the impending doom of what John's special delivery is going to be.
Next job is one of my favourites, the old underseal. Now you can get 4 tins of this and the gun off of eBay for about 40 quid, and I love the stuff. You can get Lano Guard, which is I think almost like a thick WD, which sort of sticks to the chassis, and apparently it's really good, but I've never tried it because whilst I think it's good for anti-corrosive, it doesn't make it go back to black. So if you look at that in there, where it's all stone chipped, makes it all brand new again. So you can see this side now, all nice, whereas this side over here, horrendous. The only thing is, you get a bit addicted to it and you just want to spray everything. The special delivery has arrived. A new compressor. Well, second hand anyway, I got it off eBay. Now this is the biggest 240 volt single phase compressor you can get, and it's got 2 motors, 2 pumps on it, and the way they run them is they start one motor and pump up first, and then once that's going and the majority of the surge of the power's like sort of lowered down, they'll then kick the other motor in so they can both run at the same time, which obviously means we get a lot more airflow. Now, the reason I want this is because when I'm doing the shot blasting cabinet, the little one that I've got has only got 1 motor on it and it just can't keep up, and then it starts to overheat and trip and yeah, nightmare. So this little beauty, but the only negative is it doesn't come with a control box that controls the motors, that turns them on. There must be some like trip switches that do that, some little relays. So I've got to work that out. So if any of you are Sparkies and know how to do that, give me a shout. But 290 quid off eBay, bargain. Them little beauties.
We're back, baby, we're back.
Did it go all right?
It did indeed, yo.
They look quality, them.
I am really impressed with him.
You know what you're going to be impressed with most, though? My little delivery cane, isn't it? Come in here. Come and have a look. What do you think?
Oh, for the love of God. Where are you going to put that? The size of it. It's bigger than the bloody mower.
Now,
John.
it's a single phase, the biggest one you can get. I don't know how many CFMs, I'll have to check that out because I need to tell the people, I haven't told the people
What
that.
do you need that for?
It'll run more than my little one, so then I can run the shot blaster and that better. And also, I haven't told you about another little tool we got as well, but...
Oh, I do know about this. I can see it.
Improve this one. Look at these little beauties that I got the other day. 35 arbours, like this, and 65 hole saws. How much do you think? Considering a lot of these little ones are like £5 a piece, and the big ones can be really expensive, and they're all decent brand ones as well, some unused. 25 quid for the whole lot. But I don't know whether to laugh or cry about the lady, eh?
Honestly, I tried to have conversations with him the whole way back from going to collect these off of Facebook Marketplace. He couldn't concentrate on the conversation because the reason that he got such a steal on these is the lady getting rid of them was getting rid of them because she got them in the divorce.
And she was selling all his stuff at these sort of prices because obviously she doesn't know how much they're worth. But I was over the moon that I got such a bargain, but also gutted for the fellow drill bit hoarder. You know what I mean?
I wished that this part was a joke, but the lady had a skip outside of the house.
Let me show you what I got out of Skip.
So John asks her if he can have a look through the skip.
She was a legend. She said you can go through it if you want, but I didn't want to seem too weird. So we got one hard hat, orange one, and then this little beauty here. Look
That's
at
yours.
this one.
Orange isn't my colour.
So this one, it's got ear defenders on that drop down, and then face mask too.
But I think we're going to leave you with that delightful little anecdote this week. But next week, we'll be able to show you the doors properly and get them back in and get our beauty old Sainsbury's van put back together. But I did realise on my way home that we haven't actually told you why it is that we're selling her. And as you know, we like to build campers as much as we like travelling in them. And we only ever built the Sainsbury's van with the intention of going to the Nordic Arctic. But we loved it so much, we took her for round 2. But it's now time for someone else to get to have some epic adventures in her and make way for some new and exciting things. So we'll see you guys next Saturday, and don't forget about that Incogni link in the description.
We didn't tell him about my other drill bits we bought as well.
Because he needs more drill bits.
Some tile drill bits, some tile guides and loads of little odds and sods.
He got them from the same lady.
20 quid.